What is going on, guys? I want to talk about this article from CBS News. It's actually a recent article as of July 30th of last month. And it's about how the Me Too movement has changed dating for a lot of single men and how they behave due to a new study that they are doing. Now, y'all know that a lot of the content that I have made over the last 4 years have been red pill content, MGTOW content, going your own way content. Well, that's pretty much the same, but I'm just saying. And I've been speaking about how men dating, as far as dating is concerned, either they were completely not dating anymore, or they were looking to be off the market, fix themselves up, and if they want to get back into the dating market, they would do so. And what I have figured out is that there are a lot of guys who went the wrong way but are now wanting to go back into the dating market. Okay? Now, this is according to CBS News. A new study that looks at how the Me Too movement has affected dating culture found that 51% of single American men feel the movement made them change how they act. I can attest to that, because when you have a movement that has particular individuals who are able to point the finger and say this person did this and that guy could lose everything that he worked for, even his freedom, that is going to cause a lot of men to pause, especially in the workplace. The workplace is where you see the behaviors changing. This is why I'm seeing a ton of articles similar to this about men not dating women in the workplace, men not pursuing women, not talking to them. I don't know why women are surprised by this. You have a movement that is trying to basically ruin men's careers, push them out of power, and men see that and they're gonna they're gonna figure out that it's best that I keep my distance, especially if I could lose income because of this. Nearly 60% of all singles said the movement is important to them, and nearly half agree it started a much needed conversation. It's that going red pill conversation. The nationwide study conducted by online dating company Match surveyed more than 5,000 single men and women from ages 18 to 99, and did not just stick to Match users. Helen Fisher, a biological anthropologist and the chief scientific advisor for the company, told CBS this morning, this marks a massive social change in our society. It's a social change that shows the decay of Western civilization. When you allow the females of this society to run amok, to be dysfunctional, to be in leadership positions when they are not ready and not capable of that, when you push identity politics, what's going to be happening is you have men who are intelligent, men who are builders, men who understand how to start companies, build them up, build wealth. They're going to push away. They're going to say, I want nothing to do with them. Then these are guys who are, financially in a good place, socially in a good place, and they're at the right age for marriage, to start a family. But those guys are walking away. Those guys are going red pill and they don't even know it. 51% of men have changed their behavior. 40% of men have changed their behavior at work, and 33% of men have changed their behavior on a date. Actually, social scientists have been tracking social change for decades. That's a huge change, Fisher said. I mean, if you try to ask people to try to stop eating sugar or get some more exercise or drink less, very few people really change their behavior. That is true. But when it comes to your life being altered due to allegations, a lot of guys are going to back away. A lot of guys are going to say, you know what? I'm just going to keep my cool I'm not going to flirt. I'm not going to have any type of interactions, conversation wise. I'm not going to get buddy with the females at work. I'm going to keep it strictly red pill. I'm going to keep to myself. I'm going to stay about my money. Because trust and believe, there are guys on the job these women are attracted to. I did a video a while back about this guy who, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was either in insurance or I'm not really certain. I'm not really sure. But he was at a company, right? And his boss was a female. And she would flirt with him, tried to get with him, and he rejected her. And she made things bad for him at the job, so much so that he had to end up leaving. He either left or he got fired. And he sued the company because of that. It's like, it reminds you of the movie Disclosure. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to see it. It's a movie that came out in the early 90s, 1994, I believe, to be exact. Definitely should see that. That shows you how office politics happen when you have a female boss and guys under her that she's attracted to who don't want to deal with her, and they use their power, like they claim men do. Let's see. According to Fisher, men have been more careful, reserved, and more aware of the kind of jokes that they make in an effort to have the right kinds of conversations. But as women strive for equality in the workplace, their desire for traditional courtship seems to remain, Fisher said. So you rant and rave about equality. You rant and rave about toxic masculinity. You rant and rave about how you want to be able to be seen differently, but you still want guys to approach you. You still want guys to court you. Is it making sense to y'all how double-minded these individuals are? They don't even know themselves what they want. They're confused too. This is why you have women who will pursue a career for years. And once they get older and they realize they don't have a husband or a family, then they regret the fact that they overlooked those things. Chasing, trying to be like the guys in their office. A lot of guys can do both. They can run successful companies and have families. There are females that can't do that because she's exerting too much masculine energy in order to match that. And she feels like that's the only priority she should have, 90% of men will be perfectly happy if a woman asks them for their telephone number. 90% would be perfectly happy if women made the first move and had a kiss. She said, I was thinking about this. Should we reinstate Sadie Hawkins Day for women? Maybe you should, because there's a lot of single women out here. There's a lot of women out here who are single, who need a man. They ain't got one. They're struggling when it comes to dating. They need all the advice they can get. This is why you're seeing more women in these particular YouTube spaces where there are a lot of men having a lot of conversations, when it comes to relationships and dating, because they're confused. They don't understand why the guys that they like at the office don't want to talk to them, don't want to date them. They may say, hey, and keep it pushing. They're not trying to hold no conversations. No, they're not trying to flirt with you. At the end of the day, I don't care how, power hungry a woman is, how much equality she wants. She still wants a man to pursue her. That will never change. Let's see. Fisher chalks this up to overcorrection, kind of like the stock market. But at the end of the day, it's a sign of progress towards total equality between both sexes. In fact, we are shedding 10,000 years of our regular tradition, Fisher said. Another trend she knows is something she likes to call slow love. Millennials are marrying later and it's working out for them. I'm really impressed by millennials. They're very cautious and they're very ambitious. They're very practical, Fisher said. First, they want to just be friends. Then they want to move to friends with benefits. Then they slowly tell friends and family that they slowly move into a relationship, and then they wed. The later you are married, the more likely you are to remain together. It's very interesting, solid, good movement, but they're being very careful. Like you said, they want to make sure they're financially stable, that their career is in order before they actually catch feelings. And that's the thing, and I've told women this, women who've been interested in me. If I'm to get back into the date market and date, I'm going to take things slow until I'm in a position where financially I'm good, I'm accomplishing the things I want to accomplish. I no longer need to be out there looking and searching. You're the one for me. You fit everything I want. You check all the boxes. I know you're going to be here for the long run. You're going to have my back. It's all about vetting people. It's all about making sure that you make the right decision, because we can get sloppy with our decisions and end up getting with somebody because they look good, or because, you know, we don't have anybody else, so we rush things. And I think people rush things and then it doesn't work out, and then you're miserable. Another find: most young people are optimistic about finding a lifelong partner, which, according to Fisher, is entirely possible if you marry later in life. Every year I ask that question, and some years as much as 89% of both men and women believe that when you find the right one, you can do it forever, and it's entirely possible in this day and age. I think people need to live their life. I think they need to get themselves together. I think this Me Too movement has destroyed a lot of careers, relationships that could have started up. You know, there have been probably were guys who used to flirt with women in the office, no longer do that. They don't say hey to women. They don't compliment women in public, don't approach women. And women are starting to feel it. They're starting to see exactly why this movement should not be embraced. Why y'all think y'all don't hear from the Me Too movement no more? Why do you think the media doesn't push this hashtag anymore? Social media doesn't push the hashtag because there's a lot of women who know that if they push this hashtag, they're going to push men away.